Welcome to Freedom on Fire. I'm your host, Robert Brown, Bob TV. How you doing today? House lawmakers introduced a bill to expose secret settlements and end hush fund. Actually, Tulsi Gabbard came up with this bill, and she's introducing this bill to expose secret settlements and end hush funds. Now, I could not find this in liberal media. I could not find this in CNN. I could not find this in MSNBC. I couldn't find this in the Huff Post. I could not find this in the Hill, the Daily Banner Union. I could not find this. I found this on Fox News. Now, of course, I get emails from Tulsi Gabbard. That's my second boo thing next to Nina Turner. You know, I got my little issues with Tulsi Gabbard every night, but most of the time I'm on the same page with her. Like I told you before, I don't get in this for parties. I look at individuals one-on-one. All right, so in a push, this is from Fox News, in a push to end the secrecy surrounding sexual harassments inside the U.S. Capitol, House lawmakers, led by Tulsi Gabbard, on Wednesday introduced legislation to bar the use of taxpayers' dollars to settle misconduct claims against members of Congress and to name names. In other words, for a while, for a long time, congressional leaders was using our tax dollars to hush up people who were going to spill the beans about them being sexual harassed. So, shh, take some of this taxpayer money. Shh, don't tell nobody. So, did you know this? I didn't know this. Did you know this? So not only they're using our money, our tax money, to go toward the military complex, they got our tax money going into protecting senators on Capitol Hill just in case they get caught up in some kind of sexual debacle. Is that fair? That is not fair at all. Bad enough we got to deal with this Trump plan where the wealthy is not paying anything. Then you got wealthy idiots like this using our tax money to cover up for their mess. Use your own money to cover up for this mess. That's why Tulsi Gabbard drew up this bill and is pushing this bill. And she said not only do we need to stop paying for that, we've been paying for terrorists to go fight against Syria and all that stuff. Come on, we got to stop this stuff, America. We got to put ourselves in a position that we make a bold demand to our government leaders that you don't touch our tax money until we tell you. And we overwhelmingly will poll what we want you to do with our money, and that's the direction you go. If you find out, if the people find out that you use it for stupid stuff like this, not only will we have your job, but we will lock your butt up. It's the taxpayers' money. Anyway, enough is enough, Hawaii Democratic Representative Tulsi Gabbard, one of the bill's sponsors, said. For far too long, sexual predators have roamed freely through the halls of Congress, the People's House, the People's House, the People's House. While survivors of sexual harassment and assaults have essentially been isolated, bullied, and shamed into silence. Numerous allegations of sexual misconduct by powerful players in politics, business, and the media have put pressure on Congress in recent weeks to improve its outdated method of addressing this complaint. A little-known law that has been on the books for more than a decade gives anyone accusing a federal lawmaker of sexual harassment the right to sue, but only if they consent to a drawn-out process that includes counseling and mediation. So I don't mind as long as I pay you off and I can go get some counseling and mediation, right? What? Without money? Is you crazy? The lawmaker's identity, even if he or she is found guilty, remain confidential. And if there's settlement, if there is a settlement, and there have been more than 200, it's the American taxpayers that's on the hook for this. The American taxpayers are on the hook to this. Recent revelations have detailed secret payouts of more than $17 million for harassment. $17 million. You guys got some cotton picking nerve. 17 million for harassment claims from what essentially a congressional hush, which is essentially a congressional hush fund. The revelations have stirred mounting speculations over who was involved in the cases. Addressing those concerns, the Congressional Accountability and Hush Fund Elimination Act, which was introduced Wednesday with bipartisan support, would end the secrecy. The bill will require disclosure within 30 days of all settlements paid, along with the lawmakers involved and the nature of the allegation. I know American taxpayers all over the country were revolted when they heard about this fund. Florida Republican Representative Ron DeSantis, another sponsor of the bill, said the bill would also permit the future use of taxpayers' money to pay for sexual harassment and assault claims against any member of Congress or their staff, and would prohibit lawmakers from using their office budget to mask the payments. Let me read this again. The bill would prohibit the future use of taxpayers' money to pay for sexual harassment and assault claims. The taxpayers' money shouldn't be paying for that crap. If you do it, you need to pay for it, Doc. Not my grandma, not my auntie, not my mama, and definitely not me. We don't need to be paying for your sexual vices, man. Get your stuff together. Go cut it off if you can't deal with it. Why we got to pay $17 million to cover up you horny, perverted politicians? Get out of here. The groundbreaking bill will also... No, let me go back up. There is no way that the taxpayers should be deprived of knowing where their tax dollars are going. And you're right. We should always know, and we should have a say-so. An aggressive say-so where you can't move unless we tell you to move. The groundbreaking bill will also require any member of Congress who has ever been named in a sexual harassment and sexual assault settlement that has been paid for by taxpayers to reimburse the U.S. Treasury and the interest. Let me read this again. The groundbreaking bill will also require any member of Congress who has ever been named in a sexual harassment and sexual assault settlement that has been paid for taxpayers to reimburse the U.S. Treasury with interest. In other words, this bill is going to tell them, look, the money, you need to put that back, Doc. And you're going to put it back. You're going to send it back to the Treasury or your butt going to jail. This year alone, the Treasury has paid nearly $1 million to settle sexual harassment and other complaints against members of Congress and their staff. Wow, $1 million. And they did this in secret. The need of secrecy is the smoke room under which public officials often conceal government behaviors that is embarrassing, incompetent, corrupt, reckless, dangerous, illegal, or even criminal. Andrew McCarthy, senior fellow at the National Review Institute, said, particularly when a matter is outside the realm of national security and when it involves the behavior of public officials, there should be a strong presumption against the confidentiality. Separately, the House voted on a bill that would make sexual harassment training mandatory. The Senate passed a similar bill last week. The fact that some people who end up talking in these halls are subject to a threat or a hostile work environment when they came here to serve their country, to serve their ideas, that's wrong, and that's a disgrace, House Speaker Paul Ryan said. We cannot and we will not tolerate that kind of behavior. The House Administration Committee, who will hold another hearing next week about the sexual harassment claim process in Congress, the Congressional Black Caucus also said Wednesday it would not call for Representative John Collier's resignation. There we go. How are we going to tag and come hard on Trump and Roy Moore when we are playing pity-patty foot with John Collier's? He just needs to sit down until we take care of this situation. Again, you guys fighting to keep votes when these guys are potential rapists, pedophiles. You want to keep these people just to keep a freaking vote. Anyway, CBC. Last week, Kanye's hometown paper called for his resignation in the wake of sexual harassment allegation against a Michigan lawyer. The House Ethics Committee also announced it has opened an investigation into the matter. CBC Chairman Representative Cedric Richmond, a Democrat from Louisiana, said the decision for Kanye to step down would be for his family and his constituents to make. On Sunday, Kanye said he was stepping down as senior Democrat on the powerful House Judiciary Committee. So in other words, they're going to continue to coddle this guy. And just like Trump is going to continue to coddle Roy Moore, you calling these guys who could be potential sexual harassers, pedophiles, rapists, also you can get a freaking vote. Now, let's go back to this. I thank God for using Tulsi Gabbard and her colleagues to come up with this bill. We should not be paying our tax money to take care of this stuff. Our tax money should not go to these things. And it's a shame that Congress was doing this and don't even want to show their freaking face. Cowards to the core. You do the crime, you got to do the time. Stop being a freaking coward and hiding behind our tax dollars in some kind of document where you don't have to show who you are. People, go out here and support this bill. Push for votes on this bill. Call your congressman, your state legislature, your U.S. legislature, those in the House and the Senate. Call them and tell them you better support this bill. The nerves of you gonna try to use our tax money to pay to cover up your pervertedness. Go get your wife and go get your room or something, man. Hey, this is your boy Bob TV with Freedom on Fire and Rob Report. I want to thank you for watching the webcast. Make sure you share these segments all across your social media network. Like and share, subscribe, and maybe invite a couple other people to do the same thing. You make the difference. I also want to thank you for those who support this channel through Patreon, whether it's 50 cents to $50 million. It goes right back into what we do here. So like the lights that you're looking at right now, that's because of something that you did. So I really appreciate it. I want to thank my man Vegimatic for the Blue Yeti mic, one of the top microphones out right now. He knew I needed the mic, so he blessed me with it. So all of you guys make the difference into this channel growing, and I really want to appreciate you for that. Also, by all means, again, continue to share your comments at the bottom of each video. Just don't get so visceral to the people who may disagree with me or may disagree with you. This calling out name stuff, that's not for this channel. So please try not to call people names, personal names. Now you can call some of the stuff they talk about crap. I say that, but just don't attack people personally. Words really hurt when you start attacking people personally, because these people really believe these things, and you're not gonna take away their belief by calling them names. So please don't do that on this channel. But nevertheless, I appreciate you guys. We're shooting for 2,000 now, so I need your help. So as my pastor would say, reach one, teach one. I mean, let's reach out. You got the information. Make sure you share with other people and try to get them to subscribe to the channel so we can grow and expand. I'm Bob TV. Freedom on Fire. Rob Report. Peace.